Under the eye. Deep breaths into your heart. Stay with it.
It's about 3/4 there.
Woo!
Out of the hole.
3/4 out of the hole. Okay. Wow. Top lip. What has to happen for you to get fully out of the hole? Chin point. Keep breathing. Keep staying with it. What has to happen for you to get out of the hole? Fully out of the hole.
Living my life more.
Okay. What does that mean specifically? Collarbone. What does that mean? Stay with it. What does that mean?
I'd like to get a book published.
You'd like to get a book published. Okay. That means when you're living your life more. Okay. Have you done any writing towards this book?
Yeah, I've got a couple of chapters on it.
Brilliant. Okay. All right. So that's kind of like a metaphor for you. So when you've actually written this book, you feel that you know that you're fully out the hole.
Yeah, and making my own business.
Making your own business. How soon does that have to happen?
I'd like it to happen within the next year.
Okay. All right. Okay. Does it matter if it takes 2 or 3?
No, as long as I'm working towards it.
Does it matter if it takes 5?
I would hope it'd be done before 5.
Sure, but does it matter if it took 5?
I suppose it wouldn't really matter.
Okay. Because you're putting less pressure on yourself. And really, what I see, when you talk about the sadness, talk about your knee, and you talk about the sadness is in the past, but then it's also the sadness that there's fear and that fear stops you. The thing about fear is that it's always going to be there on some level. And even the most spiritually evolved people who are on the planet probably still get little bits of fear come into their lives, but very, very small. But the thing about fear is that through taking action in whatever way, even if it is just small steps, you can create any kind of possibility and reality that you wish to create. You're just working towards it. And if you put, oh, well, this needs to be done, and I know you didn't say this, but what some people do is, it needs to be done by next year. It needs to be done. Then there's huge pressure in order to be able to manifest that. Now, those people end up manifesting lots of things I've seen, and they do really well. But they're under this constant cycle of having to achieve and do so well, and there's no beingness, there's no peace. Because the outcome feels more important than the now and the journey. And like you said, there were learnings within that experience, and that you were sad for quite some time. But you had to find yourself. And you can't rush to find yourself. It happens automatically as you unfold. Is that true? Is that true from these sessions? We haven't forced anything, have we? If anything, you've tried to force me away and go, oh, I don't want to work on this emotion. But when you allow what is, the emotion just comes up. We process it, we allow it to be, we feel it, and release it. Because what you resist will persist, and what you don't feel, you can't heal. And I think you know that so much, each and every session. Okay, top of the head?
Yeah.
All right, just stay there. Okay. So just look at your knee and I want you to just turn your attention to your knee and just see where the sadness is on a 0 to 10. It was an 8. Knowing that you can just move forward incrementally in your own pace, in the same way as you found yourself, you can move forward to this reality that you would like to move towards. What's happened to sadness now as you look towards your future regarding your knee? Eyebrow point.
It's about a 4 or 5.
It's about a 4 or 5. Okay. What makes it so charged as a 4 or a 5? Under the eye. What makes it a 4 or a 5? Top lip.
I'm not sure.
Okay. I want you to find it in your body. Where is that sadness? Chin point.
Kind of everywhere.
Kind of everywhere. All right. So I want you to experience that and feel it kind of everywhere. And just ask the sadness why it's a 4 or a 5. What is it so sad about? And take breaths in. And it's okay. It's just emotion. Under the arm.
Just that it took this long.
Okay, let's do some rounds on that. Okay. Even though it's taken so long,
Even though it's taken this long,
I choose to release this sadness and let it go.
I choose to release this sadness and let it go.
Even though it's taken so long,
Even though it's taken so long,
I just choose to release this sadness and let it go.
I just choose to release the sadness and let it go.
Even though it's taken so long,
Even though it's taken so long,
I choose to release this sadness and let it go.
I choose to release the sadness and let it go.
Take deep breaths into your heart each and every time. Top lip. Even though it's taken so long.
Even though it's taken so long,
It's time to let this sadness fully go.
it's time to let the sadness fully go.
Chin point. Even though it's taken so long.
Even though it's taken so long,
It is time to let this sadness go.
it is time to let the sadness go.
Collarbone. It is time to let this sadness go.
It is time to let the sadness go.
Under the arm. It's time to let the sadness go.
It's time to let the sadness go.
This sadness is actually preventing me from moving forward.
This sadness is actually preventing me from moving forward.
And I don't want to be stuck anymore. Breathe in and let it go. Just be with
I
it.
don't want to be stuck anymore.
And I'm not stuck anymore.
I'm not stuck anymore.
I just didn't know myself back then.
I just didn't know myself back then.
Side of the eye. And I know myself so much more now.
I know myself so much more now.
So it is time to let this sadness go.
So it is time to let this sadness go.
It's time to start embracing this happiness more and more.
It is time to start embracing this happiness more and more.
Because I know myself more and more.
Because I know myself more and more.
And I have so much more self-acceptance more and more.
And I have so much self-acceptance more and more.
So I can start to have compassion for my knees.
So I can start to have compassion for my knees.
They didn't want me to move forward because they were so scared.
They didn't want me to move forward because they were so scared.
But they're starting to trust more.
But they're starting to trust more.
Top of the head. My knees trust more.
My knees trust more.
And I love my knees for doing what they've done for me.
And I love my knees for doing what they've done for me.
My knees try to protect me.
My knees try to protect me.
And they try to make me stuck.
They try to make me stuck.
Under the eye. But that's not where I belong.
But that's not where I belong.
Where I belong is...
Where I belong is being successful.
Oh, okay. Where I belong is being successful.
Where I belong is being successful.
Okay, give me an experience of what success means to you. Okay, collarbone.
Success would be getting my book published.
Okay, all right. Can you self-publish?
Yeah, I was going to.
You're going to self-publish. Okay, all right. Okay. What else is success to you? So you have your book. Imagine that you have your book and you're holding it up to me going, Daniel, here's my book. Do you know what it's called?
I'm not for sure yet.
Okay, but imagine that you've got the title. And is this a novel?
It'll be a children's book,
A
yeah.
children's book. Okay, all right, wonderful. So imagine that you've got this children's book and you've actually got that there now. And just imagine that it's in your heart. Just close your eyes and just take a deep breath under the arm. Top of the head. Okay, so just imagine that you've got that book there now. How does it feel that you've actually got that book?
It feels great. It feels wonderful.
Feels wonderful. Eyebrow point. So it feels wonderful. Okay. I just want you to notice with your eyes closed as you're tapping on the eyebrow point all of the effects that will result from the manifestation of you having written your book. And I'd like your unconscious just to go into that experience now, deeper and deeper, and experience that. The effects of you've written your book. Here it is. See what you see, feel what you feel, and hear what you hear. Side of the eye. See what you see, feel what you feel, and hear what you hear. Under the eye. You have your book. Just keep exploring those effects from having written it. See what you see, feel what you feel, and hear what you hear. Top lip. Chin point. You have your book finished. Imagine what you're doing with it. Imagine all the effects from the manifestation from that having come into being. Collarbone. Feel what you feel. Hear what you hear. See what you see. There's your book. Here is my book. Under the arm. Take a deep breath into your heart. And just notice as you turn around in your mind and look towards the past and see what you did at the age that you are now in order to be able to create that book. Stay under the arm. Just take deep breaths into your heart. Just see how you navigated those obstacles, those challenges, and notice what it is that you did and how you rose above them. How you once came out of a hole and talked to me 3/4 the way out the hole. And you had this idea of writing this book. And you stayed in that vibration and you took baby steps each and every day in order to bring that into being. Top of the head.